Malcolm Layton, Head of Product for Fortifyedge, and we're going to do a walkthrough of our data science pipeline for the Moon to Mars program that's sponsored by Australian Space Agency. What we've created is a number of algorithms that sit on an individual's device, similar to a Galaxy watch, a Samsung watch, a smartwatch, but any smart device that has sensors and, for example, an ARM M4 chip behind it, U55, is fantastic for this kind of processing, which is on device. So this is intent is to understand the identity, the status, and the safety of those on board that are going to be on mission from Earth to the Moon to Mars. And we start with a human analogue that we capture on Earth during the training process. And this is what we're going to go through and what we're proposing to go on to board the ISS, and we're working with our partners to achieve that in the next 12 months. So let's get going. We're using the MockISS and the MockISS ground station here. It's got constraints on that of 2 megabytes per second. So this is where our speciality of making tiny models really comes into play. You know, when our models are transferring up and down through this pipeline, they're around 50 kilobytes per model. So very constrained, very much in the niche for what's required for exploration in space. We're going to use David 5G, and we're going to show his data. So we can see here that he has an analog. This is the path that he's done on Earth. And yes, it is a cornerstone. And what's a cornerstone, you may ask? A cornerstone is where a data science will look at the data collected and decide whether that's a great batch. Let's use that to create the model of that individual for the individual's use. You'll see here we also have some data that David has collected for us on the ISS. Now remember, this is the mock, so he actually wasn't there, but this is what we're doing and how it would be labelled. So let's go along. And a data scientist has reviewed this, and it's a great model, data collection to use. So we've selected that, and we're going to create a new model. Now, we have used industry tool sets because there's no need for along the way, and the HP Spaceborne has a number of these tool sets available in space. And what we're proposing is we would have this set ready for any astronaut that actually knows how to do some basic data science. We can also train them in this if needed into the future. So here it is, here's the label. Remember, we did select for David 5G, the astronaut. That's what we're doing now. We're doing the digital sampling of David's identity and status. We're going to go up to the database setup. Now, there's a couple of ways we can do this. We go up here and we go play. Why I've collapsed this is because there's 2 hidden cells. And so then I don't miss them. I can press play and you can see it's gone through and done those 2 cells. It just saves me from trying to traverse everything. It's just a little bit quicker, I find, through the administrative components of this database. We also come here to pick the user. We want to make sure, I like to press play on that. It allows me to make sure that I am selecting the right astronaut and it's not the person which is accidentally left there. So I've got that. I've now selected that. So that's David. I've checked the numbers against David's, and away we go. So now we go straight down to the DL model, so the deep learning models. Again, this is making sure, but you can see all the code through here, going through that motions. But again, 2 cells, I'm just pressing play. Then I'm going down here to getting the training data. It is the astronauts. So I'm pressing play down here as well. And then we want to get down to the train with TensorBoard. And you can see it's started to come through. You'll also see that it is on time series, and that's what we're really after here. So we can start seeing, and you'll see a whole range of different things that it's come through. This is where the data scientists will do their work to make sure that everything's there. And as you can see, there's a whole lot of graphs for them to go through. Again, that is this is the TensorBoard. We're going to go through back to the where we can find the models, to the platform, and we're going to show the models. And yes, this is the model that we just built from the astronaut. It hasn't been quantized. It hasn't been transferred to the ISS, the request, so that it can go onto the backlog to be transferred, and it hasn't been sent yet. So we can see all these things, but we do have a model now trained, and that's the digital of David on the ISS. So that's fantastic. We've now got that. We'll come back down to here, and because we need to quantize the model to make sure that we get down to the size applicable for it. And again, the 2 cells, this is the easiest way to go through that. You could either come through there, but it batches it through for you. And you can see that happening as we speak. So that's quantizing the model. And that's completed. We'll go back to the platform, and you can see now it has been quantized. So what we wanted to make sure that this has all been done. We're happy with the model. We've checked everything, and now we're going to put it in queue to transfer that model up to the ISS. So you can see here we've selected transfer the model. It's on the waiting list to do that. So yeah, whilst we wait for that to be transferred, there's a couple of things that are fantastic key elements. This is working through the MockISS currently, and the MockISS ground station really does well through the 2 megabit pipeline, being 50 kilobyte models up and down. So there's no issue that we're having there. Fantastic work from our team of clinicians and data scientists. The data scientists working on generative AI, on foundation models, on multiple neural networks that sit on devices, so then we can actually understand what's going on with the human. And then the work with the clinicians from Hobart and South Australia and the MockISS Institute, where they're coming together and actually helping us with that physiology and understanding of the astronaut and what goes on in those changes in space. Now we can see now in that time, it has been transferred to the ISS, and that's all that there is. We have gave it some data, we selected the model, we did the data science on that work, we came back through, we had to quantize that to make sure we queued it ready to go to the ISS, then we transferred it to the ISS, ready for David 5G to put that new model on his watch, giving him a digital of himself up in space rather than use the analog. Thank you for allowing us to go through this with you today. I hope you enjoyed it, and we hope to see you soon. And enjoy your day, please. Thank you.